Hello and thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Political Platform on Raypower FM. My name is Amici Anapweze. Tuesday, a lot happening in the polity. The Acting Inspector General of Police faced the scrutiny of the National Police Council yesterday. A meeting of that council held at the Aso Presidential Villa, Abuja, yesterday, and they ratified his nomination as Inspector General of Police. We are hearing he will be decorated fully tomorrow. That'll be Wednesday. So Tunde Disu resumed office as a full Inspector General of Police, replacing Kade Betoku. A lot of tasks ahead of him. Newspapers are still speculating as to why Betoku was removed. Some say he stood against state police, even when his principal, the president, has said state police is the way to go. The Senate promising that they will deal with the issue of state police before the end of this year, 2026. A lot of people imputing motives behind the sudden resignation. Some will say forced resignation of Betoku. But one pattern that we have seen over the years, whoever the president does not want to continue to be in office, he doesn't sack. We just hear that the person resigned. Yes, take your mind through all of them. They will either cite family reasons or health reasons from the former chairman of APC, Ganduje, to indeed even aides of the president. It's just the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs that was also asked to step aside. That one was suspension. Every other one has been indeed, I'm resigning. So one thing is clear, President Tinubu will have a way to make you resign. Recall former President Obasanjo, when he appoints you, before you assume office, he will give you a paper, your resignation document to sign. He will prepare your resignation document ahead, but he will leave out one thing, the date. You sign it, pledging that you have resigned your appointment in such a way that any day he feels your services are no longer needed, that he wants to dispense of your services, he will just accept your resignation and they will just add date to that. For this president, not that way. He will not prepare, but somehow he will make you to voluntarily resign. And so Tunde Disu is coming in. A lot of expectations on him, but I take a pity on him. Too much expectations, I dare say, of Nigerians on him. The problems of the Nigeria police force, the problems of insecurity go beyond one man. It goes beyond the Inspector General of Police. Of course, even the service chiefs is beyond them. It's systemic. And until we look at the holistic approach to it, it will amount to running around in a circle. You start from a point and off you go with all your strength and energy in a dash. And by the time you've made progress, you come back to the very place you started. That's what you call running in a circle or movement around a circle, what I call all motion, no movement. Yes, there was motion, but no movement. So perhaps it's his time to shine. What can he bring to the office? Maybe a few changes, but the institutions are so strong that even a presidential directive, yes, recall late last year, the president issued a directive that VIPs should not get police protection, that instead it should come from the civil defense. A presidential directive, as it were. It didn't take long for Nigerians to understand the kind of society they found themselves. When they traveled to the hinterlands, they saw policemen accompanying not just government officials, but big men, those that can afford to indeed pay for their services. So the president in Abuja issuing directive, just like he will give directives for security chiefs to deal decisively or arrest those that penetrate violent crime, killings, abduction, and nothing happens. Exactly what happened with that presidential directive. So if it can happen to a presidential directive, how can is an ordinary, yes, I use that word with every sense of caution, ordinary inspector general of police, give a directive that would be obeyed down the line. The minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, talked about dismantling military checkpoints across the country. Most into his stay as minister, has anything changed? Don't you see those military checkpoints? Every inspector general of police will come and make one big statement, will clap for him, thinking that action will be taken, no action. So it tells you it's indeed systemic, and it's not just what one pronouncement by either the president or the inspector general of police or the chief of defense staff or the chief of army staff will make. And we understand this as a country, but we lack the will to do what we are supposed to do. We enjoy playing to the gallery. Even the citizens are also easily deceived into clapping for those in power when they play to the gallery. That's the situation we have found ourselves. But moving to other issues now, the war in the Middle East, we told you, having repercussions already in Nigeria. The attacks have intensified from both ends. Many people underestimated the power, the military might of Iran. It has the capacity to launch attacks in multiple cities, multiple countries. Donald Trump was telling Americans just yesterday that Iran already has the capacity and capability to hit targets in Europe. And very soon, he said, if allowed to continue, Iran will have the capacity, will develop the capacity to deliver either drones, armed drones, or missiles and rockets into USA. So Iran has been attacking different countries, striking different countries in the Middle East, as targeting U.S. Installations, U.S.-based military bases, and residences of U.S. military personnel. Few countries enjoy that capability. Very few countries that can do it. Except you're a world power, you dare not do it. And so many people are saying Iran is not Venezuela, where U.S. military went in, picked, plucked their president like a fish out of a fish pond and brought him back to the U.S. Not with Iran for now. But the U.S. has said through their Secretary of War that the war had just begun. The war in the Middle East, that over the weeks to come, the intense part of the war will come. So take a seat back, buy your popcorn, buy some drinks, and wait for the live movie. Yes, that's what we're seeing. But like I said, the repercussion already hitting us back here in Nigeria. Dangote Refinery announcing that indeed is reviewing upwards price of petroleum products. So it's happening in the Middle East, but it's affecting your pocket right here. Also, oil prices, crude oil prices going up, hitting almost $80 per barrel. Good for the Nigerian government, but bad for the Nigerian people. Good for the Nigerian government in the sense that the crude oil benchmark price is indeed higher than we are projected for 2026, about $64 per barrel. But for some time now, crude oil has been selling under that benchmark, so putting 2026 budget under immense pressure. But now that is a shut up. Nigerian government, when it says it's crude oil, will make more money, but citizens who will buy refined products are already paying more. Some analysts are indeed putting out some forecasts out there that it may hit 1,000 naira per liter very soon. We were there before, so it won't be a surprise to Nigerians. So, but the commodity for that price, perhaps those that are moving around, and the economy, the society is all about movement. Anytime a people or a society stops to move, then that society, a country is going into extinction, is one step into extinction, because change is dynamic and change is constant. The world is dynamic, so the more we move, the more the economy activates. And how do we move if not for fuel? You have to power your means of transportation with fossil fuels and all that. So it's affecting everybody. Protests here in Nigeria, we told you, and we went with that yesterday on this program. Part of the litmus test for the new Inspector General of Police, he issued a statement placing commanders on high alert, especially in northern Nigeria, expected to share with you. Apologies, my colleagues left me in the cold. They had some other issues to deal with. Balogu is having some indeed sessions with the forefathers, our forefathers out there. Perhaps when he comes here tomorrow, he'll share the outcome. Tebetiav had some other pressing issues, same with indeed Abulo Semuagu. But I'm here for you. Trust that somebody will always be here for you. You matter to us. We treasure your presence both on YouTube, YouTube page, and with those that head to their sets, both handheld device and, of course, the other radio sets. So promise we are not going to let you down. So hear from you, Chidera. You have some. How many do you have today?
About 4 or 5.
Okay. So let's hear what people. What issues are they raising?
The Iran and everything happening and how it is affecting our economy when we did not even fire a bomb. So why are we taking the heat?
Yes, see, somebody will fire the shot, another person will take the heat. They say when two gods, when two elephants are fighting, the grass that will suffer. And when the gods are fighting, don't go to separate the fight, because you may receive a blow not meant for you. True. And you know the blow of the god is not a physical blow. When it comes, you gotta meet your creator and join your great-grandfathers. Let's hear what our listeners are saying.
Okay, thank you, Amici, and welcome to the mail segment. I am Chidera Izudwe. And in that line from Port Harcourt, John Peters is saying, war tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States are shaking global markets. Missiles may be flying into the Middle East, but the economic shockwaves are landing right here in Nigeria. Fuel prices are rising again, transportation costs are climbing, food prices are increasing, and Nigerians are protesting. But let me ask this hard question. Is Nigeria the only country in the world? We are not at war. We did not fire a single missile. Yet, every global crisis seems to hit our economy like a direct attack. Our oil prices respond to international conflict, but must Nigeria always be this vulnerable? This is a nation blessed beyond oil, rich in agriculture, solid minerals, talent, and innovation. So why does our foreign conflict immediately translate into hardship at home? The real issue is not the war abroad. The real issue is our preparedness at home. And Ugochukwu Godwin from Lagos is saying, Dr. Amechi, it's been almost 3 years you have been talking about this INEC glitch. Did the network glitch have a substantial effect on the collated result? No. In the last US presidential election, there was network and machine glitch. But Trump was declared winner, and they have moved on. You kept asking the former INEC chairman to explain until he left. And now it is Amupiton. I agree with Teve that the Senate tried to solve the issue by accommodating both real-time transmission of results and manual collation, even though it is now more prone to abuse. There's a reason no country in the world have real-time transmission of results, and why US didn't have 100% electronic voting, because technology can fail. We are alive when Anonymous hacked into INEC and EFCC sites. We cannot put our eggs in one basket. Every collated result is posted on IREV. The parties and voters should ensure the collated results are the true reflection of what happened. Technology does not operate itself. It is done by human. And in the same line, Emeka from Abuja is saying, that citizens' town hall meeting on the Electoral Act 2026 was very apt, incisive, and a delight to watch. It reinforces my belief that the new INEC chairman, Joash Amopiton, cannot give majority of Nigerians the free, fair, credible, and acceptable elections they so desperately long for. His responses to questions and poses were not very lucid and very crystal clear. He even shifted his responsibility to give the country credible elections to the grace of God. I make bold to tell him that God is neither a politician nor an INEC staff and has finished his own part of the bargain by giving us the wherewithal to develop and acquire the technology necessary to make things seamless. And it is our duty and responsibility to deploy our abilities and to put them to good use in order to achieve the desired result. If I may ask, I do make the president-led APC and his boys in the National Assembly and let them have this provision manual transmission of election results if communication network fails that they are so desperately and selfishly insensitive about. And they should give us Mike Igini, who is the former Akwa Ibom State resident electoral commissioner, as INEC chairman. That would be a fair deal. But our present APC leaders seem to want anything but a fair deal. And finally, Henry Ewunono is saying, day by day, I become increasingly disillusioned about developments in our country that suggest that the present day is botched and that the future is very bleak. The only thriving sectors appear to be partisan politics, with the sole aspiration of joining the ruling party, religious worship, which has become competitive instead of collaborative. There's hardly any other sector that is thriving in the positive direction. Right from May 2023, there have not been any serious conversations on developments other than politics. Is this our fate as a nation? I call on the media to do a blackout on politics for a week and to refocus the reawakening of this country to the challenges staring us in the face. Can we as citizens start with our various
is trying to pass out there. He's disillusioned, despondency is setting in, and that is the situation across the country. And that is the situation with our democracy. I've spoken with a lot of young people who have, and some of them have told us on this program that they will no longer be part of our democracy and election because they have lost confidence. Some groups led by Yaga Africa did a study across Nigeria, and majority, more than 64%, said they don't have confidence in INEC in conducting free and credible elections. When this data come out, we ignore them because we think it is meaningless. It has grave meanings and wider implications. But because we are fixated on today, tomorrow, how to grab power, we tend to downplay the implications of this on our polity. Yes, especially those in authority, especially politicians. They are so fixated on grabbing power, like one of our listeners talked about, relegated, and the media is also part and parcel of it. When a politician defects from one political party to the other, it makes headline. I mean, how can it affect me as a citizen? How can it affect my pocket, my well-being, that one politician has jumped ships? For the first time, Nigerians, INEC was spending money in the past in public enlightenment, begging people to come and register. Prior to 2023, Nigerians were spending money providing logistics for INEC officials to come to their area to register. Increased interest in our electoral system because of promises made by INEC, because of the fact that IREV will work. Now, glitch came, and INEC has kept quiet. I mean, you can't progress as a nation where you have not identified your problems, find out who's responsible. Are we going to indeed punish the person responsible? Are we going to pardon the person? Before we pardon, has the person confessed his or her sins? Even for the Almighty, before your sins are forgiven, you have to show remorse. You have to confess your sins, show remorse, and carry out some restitution. Before the shadow will go with him till he discharges his responsibility. To Nigerians, if it's an error of omission, we'll say it's not your fault. We'll pardon you when you have shown remorse. But you think you can cover it up? cover it up, and you think we can move ahead and as if nothing has happened? Well, if you can move ahead, Amechi Anakwo will not move ahead. I'll continue to say, wherever I see the professor, I'll tell him, Oga, you owe us an explanation because my money was part of what you spent. Hundreds of billions in acquiring the technology, and you didn't use it. And you want me to behave just like an average Nigerian to move on? That's what we do. We move on waiting for the next distraction. But for this chairman that has promised to audit and explain what has happened, he has done the audit, he has told us, and he has refused to tell us what happened. He must, it's a responsibility. If not, it was to be like a shadow, his own shadow, following him. That's the situation we have found ourselves. There are some, indeed, comments on the YouTube that will be sharing with you. Banky FM is asking, wouldn't this CNG, the compressed natural gas, not ameliorate the sufferings from high PMS price? Yes, it was promised that when CNG comes, indeed, many Nigerians will migrate and abandon PMS. But it has happened to a limited success. We are still seeing long queues, and at some point, even the price of CNG increase marginally, as it were. Anyway, Curious 3074 is saying, what is the stand on the war in the Middle East? Is it in favor of Iran or agents? Well, is it the stand of Nigeria? Nigeria has called for this violence there, and that's the highest we can do. We can't go beyond this. If you go beyond this, you run into trouble. It's a situation of see no evil, hear no evil. Just issue a statement pretending you're neutral, because you know, as Senate President Gospel Akpabio has told us, Trump is also on our neck. He's pressing it very well. So if you say make the wrong statement, you bear the consequences. Go and ask Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. He was the only top politician in Nigeria that engaged the tweet of a Congressman Riley, US, when he accused Nigerian government of looking elsewhere when Christians are killed. He engaged him and disagreed with him, only for the congressman to put his name in a bill he sent to the Congress, saying that he should be declared persona non grata and have sanctions imposed on him. So Nigerians and the Nigerian government, they know how to respond when US is involved. Dennis says, Dr. Amechi, it is the grasses under the elephant that's fighting that is supposed to suffer, not the grasses outside where the elephants are fighting. So the grasses, you mean in the Middle East? Yes, the elephants are in the Middle East. The US elephant, the Israeli elephant, and the Iranian elephants. Yes, the grass in the Middle East will suffer, but you know, the grass here is also suffering. Go and buy petrol and you tell me whether the grass is not suffering also. Okay, let's move ahead now to take more comments on our YouTube channel. Ude Emehenna Emeka. Good morning, everyone. I've noticed the recent protests in Nigeria over the conflict in Iran, but I can't help wondering why we don't see the same energy directed at ongoing killings here at home. Well, we have a habit of protesting when our interest is not at stake. But when our own interest is at stake, we look the other way. It's unfortunate. That's where we have found ourselves. Anyway, one of our listeners talked about doing politics for 1 week, focusing on issues of development, issues on welfare and all that. Yes, I agree with him. If not, yesterday, because of time, we couldn't take the issue of the fact, the announcement made by the Niger State governor that 300,000 citizens of the state are in internally displaced persons camps because of rising insecurity. This news will not ring bell in the ears of those in power. To them, it's and so what's the next thing? What's the next item on the news? Elsewhere, emergency will be declared, a war room will be established, and nobody lives there till the list of the person, the last of the person gets back home in safety. IDPs adorn the nook and cranny of Nigeria. Tell me what states, especially from the north central to the northwest and the northeast, where you don't have IDPs. In Benue State, you have IDPs. In Zamfara State, there are IDPs. In fact, sometime 2 years ago, they had to protest and let siege at the government house in Guzo, saying, we don't have any other place to run to. We would rather encamp here. If that will guarantee our safety. There are internally persons, the displaced camps across Nigeria, and yet life continues as normal. I mean, it can only happen here in our dear country because it is not an issue. It does not worry those in government. If it worries you, they will tell you that's your terror. You know what is worrying them? Can you take a guess? Yes, can you take a guess what is their worry? I will end with this just one phone call. Who will call us and tell us what's the priority of the government of the day? Is this security or is it another thing? Quickly, let's see who that lucky person will be. The number 0916 333 4965. 0916 333 4965. Tell us, what do you think is the priority? Who operate the phone? Okay, let's get to know who will call in. Maybe one or two. Okay, we have this one. Quickly tell us your name, answer the question. Yes, please. Has it been picked? Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Quickly, your name. Hello, we are with you. We've lost that one. Who will be the lucky citizen? Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Quickly, your name?
I'm Christopher. One I'm calling from Ike
In Abuja. What do you think is the priority of the government?
2027 general election.
Okay, let's get to more. They say 2027. Is it insecurity? Is it welfare? Is it wedding? Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, my name is Sam. I'm calling from Nasarawa
State, okay.
Okay. Yes, just like the first caller said, the priority of their mind is how to win the next election.
Okay. Now let's get the third and last response. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Major. This is Amy, the bike man.
From?
The bike man. From Wuse.
Okay, in Abuja. Answer quickly.
On your mandate. 2027. On your mandate.
You're already campaigning for him. You're already campaigning for him. So citizens believe the government's priority is returning to power in 2027 and not to provide security, which is a primary aim of government, and not to provide welfare, which is also a primary aim of government. From the voice of Nigerians, from their mouth to the ears of those in Aso Rock and in the government houses in the 36 states of the Federation, and the official residence of the minister in the Federal Capital Territory. Change your ways. Nigerians are making that demand. Thank you so much for joining us today. When we come back tomorrow, hope to have my colleagues join me. Have a good time. My name is Amici Anapue.